I'm a little under the weather, so I'll be soft, but I'll be surely audible. One comes here mainly for two things: connect and learn a little more in the space of the social sector. So let me try and see that you go home with a few takeaways from here, which would be good for the CSR space. I would touch upon 4 or 5 key elements. One is the SDG's 17th item. Can you tell me what it is? It's all about partnership and collaboration. The other one is very important, is to know what are the processes through that CSRs really make it happen in collaborative efforts. Finally, bringing innovation into the entire piece of delivery. And last but not the least, what is the kind of impact one has done? Impact is not about creating large numbers or how many people you have impacted, but it's all about sustainability and the change that you have created around the lives and the ecosystem where you have initiated the goals and the programs. So talking about collaboration, starting from me itself, I'm a CSR consultant, and companies call us to say, do something for us in CSR. And that itself is a collaboration. And in collaboration, as was rightly pointed out yesterday, it's not about just funding, it's about a give and take. It's about a partnership where both see a win-win situation in being together. Take, for example, the Omkar Foundation, which started literally 3 years ago, 2015. Today, what it does, I'll have a quiz for all of you after the presentation, if I forget also. Please tell me, what should be the funding of this organization's CSR for what all it showcases that it has delivered? That will probably give you an insight on what collaboration can do to really make it large. So making it big through collaboration is the key word, is what we are going to discuss about. What is important over here are the takeaways and the planning that gets into it. That are we really going to do what we want to do from a shared value proposition? What are my strengths? This company has the strength in rehabilitation of the slums of Mumbai. They are builders, but they are only into rehabilitating the slums of Mumbai with the government's initiative, of course, called the SRA. Now, the beauty about this is it gives the CSR consultant or the CSR team one good, huge handle to work on. Do you know what is the most difficult thing in community work? Can anyone take a guess? What is the toughest thing when you go and reach out to the community to deliver something? It could be medical care, it could be skill development, and whatever. Skill development, the biggest problem is getting them into the classroom. Mobilization is the toughest thing. So here is a choice the company had to do CSR in its own strength, which is the slums of Mumbai. And large slums of Mumbai. We are talking of 1 lakh and plus individuals who can be easily impacted. So they reached out through their CSR foundation and said, let's do what is called as changing lives and changing destinies. Because on one hand, the CSR, the company brings them from a hut to a nice 1 BHK apartment, but that does not change them in their lives. It just creates a physical change, but not their mindset, not their livelihood, not their destinies. The foundation takes that task of doing it. And that is where the shared value proposition comes in, and they utilize that strength. The other one is finding partners after the need assessment is done And the need assessment can be done in a very elaborate manner where you get to know what are the demographic profiles of the people, what is their income level, what are their aspirations, what is their age profile, and you have it all. Once you get that, then you reach out and find out who are your partners, who could fit the bill as per your need. And that is how you go about it. So I'll not go into a literal classroom session, but want you to tell you that having done this, you need to also then do what is called as signing up the collaborative efforts. Today, what we have is phenomenal. The skill development Omkars have 37 training partners, of which 25 are NSDC partners, the rest are large CSRs like the Tata Capitals and the likes, which is Tata Strive, of course. They are all having skilling centers. You have the Godrej Welding School, you have the Asian Paints Academy, ICICI Foundation, they are all into skilling. So we said, look, we are specialists in getting the masses, in organizing huge job melas and career melas, and we will drive the traffic over to your classrooms. And that's how the entire collaboration works. It's a win-win for both. In the same way, if you see the number of courses that they have offered, 160 courses. They are not 10-day course or 15-day course or a 60-day course. They are all 3 months to 6 months and maybe a year also, because all are linked to jobs. That was the pre-format that we had created in this collaboration. So what does the choice have? The community has. It has a menu of 160 courses that it can take. So it's a big task for the counselor to really understand what is the right fit, which course is the right fit. And then you must have seen the the logistics are a huge pain in the entire system. You can't expect a young boy or a girl from one part of the city to go to the other extreme of the city. You want to have the classroom in the geographies where you want to work. That's a given. So all these have been looked into and made this entire collaborative effort a huge success. And today, the numbers speak for themselves. And this is what? An organization which started 3 years ago, of which literally the first year is getting people in, hiring people, and getting started. So it's 2 years of actual effective where the rubber has hit the road. Having said that, what is the kind of innovations one can bring in? I'm quickly brushing through. I'm really not going through the entire detailing of all this. But one innovation we saw is engaging your own employees. That is the way you do capacity building, because CSR should not be done by people in this circle of CSR or the NGOs, but let everyone in the organization, they have about 850 people in the organization, everyone is involved into this. This year, for the first time, even there's a cultural change in the management. They have now put it in their KRAs as to how many hours per year every employee should be engaged in this. That's the only way you expand the thought. The beauty is we have empowered the employee with what is called as a ready reckoner, the third one in the end, where all these 160 courses are available to them in a small ready reckoner pamphlet, Hindi, English, and Marathi. Teams have gone out to tell them how it is to be done. All they have to find is a taxi driver they have counseled, or a maid servant's son they have counseled, and whoever they feel is in need of skilling, they bring them over to our team, who then on put them into a course of skill. It was probably the most successful employee engagement we've seen so far. The other one, we'll come to innovation. We all went for a small picnic to the RA Milk Colony Dairy Farms, where you have the settlement of the tribals just on the hillocks around RA Milk Dairy. After having the tribal lunch and enjoying and going through their homes and everything, one thing occurred to us, saying that all of them are still using the same old chula. And when we did a little research, we found Technically, these women are inhaling 160 cigarettes worth of smoke into their chest and also depleting the forest with all that wood and also getting locked up cooking morning till evening because it's a slow fire cooking. And the NGO working over there was trying to engage them into various skill developments or agri-based needs of training. They hardly could mobilize them because they had health problem, they had time problem, and they had no mindset to really go in for anything new. What was the magic? The magic was the chula. You can't see the photos very clearly. You can see the two photos at the bottom. You can see the woman over there. This eco chula costing hardly 2,500, a very, very big award-winning chula, made the game, it was a complete game changer. It saved the woman from 70% of the smoke because it is almost smokeless. Wood saving was by 65% and it cooks 50% faster. So in 6 months' time, we saw the impact on this lady and the women in that community because then we reached out to a whole lot of other tribal areas right from Karjat to here and found this was a simple tool, a simple innovation to go to these tribals, have a small function, talk to them, demonstrate it, give it to them, and then create an ecosystem around. Today, they are running even catering services using this and supplying food to various people. And the biggest reward Omkar got was a baby who was born hardly 6 months back, was named Omkar. Because they felt so good that just this one intervention changed their lives. The other innovation I'll talk about is all of us live in large societies. Have you realized there are tons and tons of cycles lying idle, gathering dust, just thrown in balconies and corners and garages? Look around your own societies, you'll find that. It's all because our children grow out of it or it's just lying over there because they migrated. Just collect those cycles, refurbish them, and go to any small school around your homes and start a scheme over there. School mein raho, cycle pao. That means at the class 8, we engage with the principal and everyone. We give the cycles based on the distances they travel. So all that groundwork is done. The school has a small function and the cycles are given to the child. It could be largely from class 6, 7, 8 onwards. With the condition that you don't own the cycle, you can use it. But if you move out, unless you are transferred of course, if you move out and drop out before class 10, you have to return the cycle back to the school. So that became a very good engaging program because we knew the attendance has improved, the ability of the child to continue within the school because he is doing multitasking. Poor chap has to help on the farm or help in the shop of his father. So the cycle has helped him to mobilize himself faster and also the motivation to keep the cycle has helped that. So that's something about innovation. Finally, impact. Now this company has hardly done 2.5 years worth of CSR. So there has to be some impact one has to study, not the numbers as I said. Let's look at large communities around over here, the slum communities which all of us are aware of. What is really happening over there, you can know the pulses of the community at the police station, at the hospitals, and at the schools. So we are now engaging agencies who are going to do this study. It's not yet done, but the thought and the innovation and the impact, how we do, is this way. That not only will they go back to the community and check how the impact was, but more importantly, go to the police stations and say, have the crime rates come down, especially about women beating, the abuses, the drug abuses, and whatever. Have they come down in these communities where we were engaged in this last 2 years? Have the hospitalization, has the number of malarias, dengue, you name it, including TB that we are engaged in, have they shown any difference? And schools, have there been less dropouts, more dropouts? And have there been more people admitted into schools? So these are three barometers we found are quick way of checking that whatever community service Omkar has done so far, is it really there? Is it made the difference to the community? So having said this, the question is, how much do you think Omkar Foundation has spent these 3 years or year on year to create this impact across all the verticals that they operate on? Which is environment, skill development, medical care, and women empowerment, which is really big, where the classes have gone to the community to train them. And it's really shown so good that there is a graduation ceremony of sorts on the 8th of March, Women's Day, where you have the largest stadium, you fill up with 800 people, there's dance, there's music, there's even a fashion show, but everything done based on the skills that they have learned. The tailoring lady will actually do the model, the beautician will actually train up and beautify the lady and put them up. So cutting short, can anyone take a guess? What should be the budget, annual budget of a company like this? Brigadier Saab? No guesses? 5 crores? I can't hear you. 10 crores. Anyone else? Any guess? Okay. So this is the power of collaboration. It's only 45 lakhs first year, 60 odd lakhs next year, and 80. No, now it's 80 lakhs, of course. But the impact and the scale at which they have managed is actually all through very good collaboration. And that is where, see, the entire philosophy of CSR has been to bring corporates into this space. Otherwise, the government could have levied a 2% cess and be done with it and taken the money into their coffers. Yeah. So that's about it. So here is the case in point. Let managerial skills and all the talent that we have, including marketing skills, go into CSR and make it large this way. Thank you very much.